Good morning, y'all. I don't know if you can see this. Can y'all see that steam? Steam coming off the tea. It's cold. It's sunny, but it's cold. It's gonna warm up though. I'm out here in Texas Hill Country. With my bodyguard. My bodyguard right there. Yes. Lucia. Lucia. And Gypsy. The two partners in crime right there. Those are two puppies. Ride or dies. Man, look at the musculature on Oz. Ozzy. Hi, Papa. Look at that. He's cut, man. He's ripped. Look at that. Muscle definition. He's like, oh, you're embarrassing me. So, yeah, that's Ozzy is my alpha Cane Corso. And then Dolce here, she's the next in line as far as pack hierarchy. She's the beta. She's very dominant. Dolce, extremely protective. So these are my two adult Cane Corso. And yeah, like I said, Lucia's a puppy. She's bigger than Dolce, but she's only a year old. Beautiful structure on her. Little Gypsy there is the American Pit Bull Terrier puppy. They like to come out here in the morning and grab the leaves off of this sugarberry tree because it's very nutritious for them. It's also called a hackberry, I guess, depending on where you live. Man, y'all, if I ever, if we ever have so-called apocalypse or, whatever, or if we lose power for any length of time, there's plenty of food in the wild. I have cactus. I have nopales, cactus. Very nutritious and very delicious to eat. Yeah, I've got the sugarberry tree leaves. If they're still, if it's not dead of winter, I would have those. And then I have juniper berries. I've got tons of juniper, and I've got Texas persimmon berries. Tons of them on this property. And then, if you're new to the channel, that's my fifth dog is Tux right here. Hello, Tux. He's such a good boy. He's the least dominant, so he's just very, very non-confrontational. Tries to keep to himself. Doesn't want any trouble. We don't want any trouble here. He tries to avoid the big dogs as much as possible, but he gets lots of love. He gets lots of attention, and some people were worried about him not getting a lot of attention, but he does. He was my first dog of this pack anyway, and he's a rescue pit bull mix, so he's probably had a rough life somewhere. He's a survivor. He's a really, really smart dog. Anyways, y'all, we're just doing our morning perimeter check, where the dogs will do this several times a day, where they'll walk the entire perimeter. It's about 2 acres. Again, it's just under 2 acres. It's not a huge property, but lots and lots of wildlife out here. Tons of wildlife. So they love coming up. I love that they can come out here and explore the scents. Probably every morning there's a new scent from some wild animal. The deer do cross over into my property. They jump this fence and they will graze and eat the berries of the trees. And they're smart. The deer know the patterns of my dogs. They know they have enough time to jump back over. They know when the dogs are inside The dogs can come outside whenever they want. There's a doggy door, so, but the deer know when the dogs are inside that they got a little window of time that they can come graze and get some food before the dogs come out. Ooh, let the dogs out. But yeah, so see, Ozzy was peeing over that scent that was laid. It's because he's alpha. He only wants his scent to be the one, I guess. So yeah, I bet there was an animal here, or still is, maybe somewhere. You're trying to take that entire tree down, Lucia. Lucia! She's trying to break a branch off. Trim the trees? Sometimes they help me trim the trees. Ozzy. You see his nose is going 24/7. He's picking up some scents. Dolce eating the grass. So yeah, I just love having these dogs because they really do feel like you got a security detail. Honestly, when I don't have them, I feel very. It's just it's almost a vulnerable feeling when you don't have your dogs by your side. Like if I'm traveling and I don't have them. Of course, I always have protection on me, but it's just when you have even just one Cane Corso, but let alone 3. Man, y'all, it's just an amazing feeling. Like, yeah, nothing can touch you because no one is going to have any thoughts of harming you if you have these bodyguards. Muscular, these very powerful dogs right by your side. No one is going to come up on you. But, with that being said, with that benefit of having that security detail, these, big bodyguard dogs, I also do have to always consider, I need to be able to restrain them if they act inappropriately, if they overreact. That's always a concern. That's why on the front end, when you first get them as puppies, that's where the work really begins, because you have to, from day one, start teaching them that they can't just act out when they want to. They have to look to you for guidance. As the pack leader, you have to be able to let them know when it's appropriate and when it's not. Well, with that being said, Cane Corsos are pretty intuitive dogs. They don't... I guess if you compare them to other dominant guardian dog breeds, they are in my opinion, a little more intuitive. They're not going to lash out at, someone that's not intending to cause you any harm necessarily, but they may give a warning bark. And what they do, I kind of love this when Ozzy does this. He'll kind of stand in front of me to kind of block me from any person or that he's not sure of. He'll stand in front of me or sit in front of me as a kind of a wall. But they may do that kind of posturing, but in my opinion, they don't typically lash out all the time when it, Now, that being said, I have socialized. I have socialized him pretty hardcore. All of my Cane Corso, all of my dogs. I do need to work on little pit bull Gypsy. I've got a lot more training to do with her. As soon as I'm better from this COVID, I'm gonna work on that again. But yeah, no, definitely I socialize him pretty hardcore. Because he started to show some signs of that were really concerning, more to other animals, but You know, he one time did jump out at my nephew, who he wasn't very familiar with. I've told this story several times, but I'll tell it again real quick. My nephew's in the Army, active duty Army, and I think he was deployed for a while, and he got some leave that he could come for one of the holidays, come visit. So, you know, he was at my house visiting with my sister and everybody. And I introduced, "Hey, baby girl, you want me to throw this big tree branch?" She's like, throw the stick. Throw the stick. That's not a stick. That's a tree branch. Don't you? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I had already introduced him. Don't you sit? I had already introduced my nephew to Ozzy. I don't think I had Dolce at the time. It was before Dolce. Ozzy was my only Cane Corso. So I introduced them. He was good. I told Ozzy he's okay. Gonna knock my knees out. See these puppies? They have no body awareness. They're just like falling into my knees. Get back. Get back. Jeez, man, y'all. And so they were familiar with my nephew, Tux and Ozzy. They both, you know, accepted him. Ozzy never left my side, though. You know, he accepted him. He even let my nephew pet him while he was sitting by me. Ozzy was sitting by me, and he came and let my nephew pet him. Everything was good. You know, we're talking. An hour had gone by, I guess, and everyone was sitting in the living room. I was on this. Kind of, the couch had one of those chase lounges, you know, that Ozzy was laying down on, and I was sitting next to Ozzy. And my nephew was on a little chair across from us. And, oh, jeez. This thing is poking me in the leg. And look at these two girls. You can see the size difference. See how Lucia's taller than Dolce? And Lucia's only a year. I can't believe it. Well, anyway, so my nephew was just, you know, we were chatting. And he gets up to go get a drink from the kitchen, and as soon as my nephew stood up, Ozzy jumped up on the Chase Lounge couch, jumped up and barked the loudest bark. His barks are so loud anyway, but he barked, and he kind of lunged forward a little bit put his chest forward a little bit toward my nephew. And basically to say, hey, you stop right there, don't come any closer. Because to get to the kitchen, he had to walk a little bit towards us, you know, to make a turn to the kitchen. But I guess to Ozzy, it appeared as if my nephew was, you know, walking towards us. Now, I will say this. This is where the intuition kind of part comes in, I guess. At least from the dog's perspective. From the dog's perspective, that my nephew's a very, you know, big, muscular male in his 20s at the time. Probably full of testosterone on board, you know. And he also is a dominant alpha type personality. My nephew is, my oldest nephew. He's one of these natural born leaders, you know. Is doing very well in the military. He's just a leader, just an alpha personality. And the dog picks up on that. Make no mistake, the dog picks up on personality types. That's just like they do in the wild. That's what's so fascinating. They know who's alpha, who's not. And they know that in humans as well. So, I think that's why Ozzy put up this barrier between, and also gave this warning bark between my nephew and myself, because he didn't trust. He honestly didn't trust my nephew, especially him being, you know, an alpha personality. And a male. If that were my mom, who Ozzy didn't spend a whole lot of time with when he was younger, because we didn't live in the same, immediate area. And so if he had the same exposure to my mom as far as time, and that were my mom, he would guaranteed 100% Ozzy wouldn't have reacted that way toward my mom getting up from the chair and kind of walking towards us. There's no way. It's because the dog knows, he can sense male and female. So, but, and that sort of thing. But, so that was early on. I think when Ozzy was maybe a year old, still young, still very young. So I knew I had a lot more work to do with him. So, like I said, it's the benefit you get with these dogs is you get that security, you get that amazing secure feeling with them. But with that comes a huge responsibility to make sure that they don't overact. And Ozzy's where I want him now, although the socialization really never truly ends. I still have to kind of reinforce all of that. So I do take him. If you do a search on my channel and just search like socialization, you'll see I've got videos of all of them being socialized, even as adults, even kind of more recently. Last time I took Ozzy to Home Depot, I want to say it was probably 6 months ago or so. But he's overdue. I gotta take him out in public again. But yeah, they're the best guard dog, the best guardian protective breed in my opinion. Yes, what about me? Oh, Mike. As well as Tux. He's probably the best guard dog, Tux. Yeah, are you? Yes, you are. We'll say that on camera so he doesn't get his feelings hurt. No, but Tux is a good alert dog. Tux, since he spends the most time outside, he loves to, and I don't know if this is because he was on the streets before, or he lived out in the wild before, or what. But he's got something on his ear. But what's that? He because Tux is usually the one that stays outside the most. He can come in whenever he wants, but he'll sleep outside all night. Usually, if the weather's not too bad. He's usually the first one to set the alarm. Like, he's got a particular bark that the dogs know means, oh, he sees something out there. He senses something. Woo, 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 like that. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. He's like, why are you alerting there, bud? There's nobody out here. But, so he's still a good alert dog. He's not the best. Okay, he went away, so I can say this now. He's not the best guard dog because he can be too friendly with people, as a lot of pit bulls are. And he's not pure pit bull. He's got 65% pit bull in him. But little Gypsy has started to show. Now she's pure pit bull, 100% pit bull according to the DNA test. But she has started to show some signs of guarding and protection. She'll bark. She's got a very deep, loud bark too. When she hears a noise outside, she'll do that. But if it was someone coming up, to the house, she'd probably wag her tail and roll over and let them pet her. Cane Corso will never do that. Let me know in the comments, all of y'all who have Cane Corsos, do your Cane Corsos ever do they ever wag their tail? Ooh, she heard a gunshot. Go see. What is it, baby? You hear that gunshot? Just gonna go check it out. Do they ever let strangers come up and pet them, or people approaching the house? Are they friendly? My dogs, typically, my Cane Corso typically are not. They're aloof. They're just wary of strangers. They won't, if I'm okay with a stranger, I may invite, say if I invite a repair person coming to work on, like the Home Depot guy that came to give an estimate on replacing the water heater. I'll warn them that I have these big dogs, and I'll say, you can come in if you're okay with big dogs. I'll just introduce you to them, and a lot of times they are, because we're out here in the country, and a lot of these country people, they know big dogs, they like big dogs. But yeah, so if that scenario happens and I let them in the house, I'll first have my dogs sit in a sit position next to me, make them sit, and I'll have a very friendly tone in my voice, and I'll say, hey, he's okay, say hi, I'll be like that. And my dogs immediately sense that in my voice, and they'll let that person pet them, but they definitely will not be wagging their tail, and they're not excited, they're just allowing that person to pet them. And what will happen is usually Ozzy will stand in front of me and that person, and Ozzy will never let someone he doesn't trust come very close to me without he's got his eye on that person all the time. It's really amazing to watch. And when the repair person, or when that person was like in the garage, I recently had the AC person come out and change my filter in the attic, my air conditioning filter, because it's one that you only replace every year. It's not one of those filters that you buy. It's not like that. It's one that you just change yearly. So I had him come out and check the AC unit, and while he was up in the attic, Ozzy was by my side, like, constantly. He was like glue to my side. Whenever there's a stranger anywhere in the house, Ozzy is like glue to my side. So yeah, but yeah, I had to definitely socialize them to people, get them, you got to get them used to going off of your cues. My cue to them that they can trust that person is, I usually say, hey, say hi, he's okay, like that. But yeah, I always try to tell that story about my nephew, because it was not an appropriate reaction that Ozzy had. But the caveat with that was that Ozzy was still young. He was still under training. He was not fully socialized. But it was a warning bark. It wasn't, I don't think anything aggressive would have happened unless my nephew was like choking me and holding me down on the floor. Then something probably would have happened. But, it's more of the beauty of this animal, this breed, is that they're more catch and hold. They're not really attack dogs like pit bulls are known to be more. And I don't want to. This is going to probably cause a lot of people to comment and say, "Oh, you're stereotyping the pit bull," but attack. I guess certain breeds are more known to attack when there's a perceived threat or when there is a true threat. We'll say that if there's a true threat and you had a pit bull and someone broke into your house and it was appropriate for them to stop that person, I think certain breeds would be more inclined to actually attack than others. The Cane Corso, generally speaking, is not a breed that, I don't know what's on his face, that would initially just attack when there's a true threat, when it was appropriate to do so. They tend to more catch and hold. They use their powerful body, muscular body, their weight, and they kind of hold a threat down. They may bite, depending on the severity of the threat, but they're not necessarily killer dogs. Gypsy! She's trying to drink that rainwater. Come here, baby. Come this way. Come. Let's go get some water. Come on. Let's go get some water. I don't want her drinking that rainwater. So yeah, Yeah, pit bull or Cane Corso can definitely do some hurt, put some hurt on somebody, do some damage. But I think a lot of times they're just there to hold down a threat. Just they're man stoppers. Put it that way, called man stoppers. I want her to come drink this water. Gypsy, Lucia. Oh y'all, this video is getting kind of long. Come on, little Gypsy. You thirsty, baby? Here. Come. You thirsty? See, with Cane Corso, I'm constantly changing out their water. It's already dirty. I changed this out this morning, and this is just from one drinking that Ozzy did. How dirty it is just from one little drink that Ozzy had from it. Hi, baby girl. Dolce. Dolce. Hi, baby girl. You're a shiny coat. Good girl. She's a good girl. Hey, she's a good girl. Hey, that's my Dolce girl. That's my Dolce girl. You wanna come outside? This is my Dolce. Hi, Papa. Yeah, see, he's not done playing. I'm not done playing. Let me shut this door. I don't want flies getting in. I spent like an hour yesterday trying to get the flies out of the house. Sometimes when I leave this door open, I don't get any, but it was just that, I guess the time of the day and year, there were more flies out. Come on, ducks, you coming? You coming? Okay. Oh, update. I wanted to give y'all a quick update if you're following from yesterday's episode. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with. So if you haven't followed the last two episodes, my water heater went out. There was an electrical fire within it because it wasn't hooked up properly. I think it was leaking from one of the plumbing, from one of the hoses or something. Well, anyways, so what I'm gonna do? I have decided I'm gonna go with a tankless water heater, and I have to get a hold of an electrician first because my house isn't. Hi, Papa. My house doesn't have enough amperage in the. I just need to update it. I think I need over 200 volts or something. I don't know. But I need to get an electrician to come upgrade a little bit so that it can take the electric water heater unit, the tankless water heater unit, and so that's going to take a little bit of time to find somebody, a licensed electrician, and hey, that's enough, Ozzy. See, he backed out. Good boy. He backed down. Hey now. He's being a little bit too rough there. Lucia. A little too rough with the puppy because his one swipe from Ozzy's paw that could really hurt her. Come on, Oz. Come on, Lucia. Man, they're playing rough. See what I mean about pit bulls can take the rough play, but come on, baby. Come, Lucia. Hey. Shh. Settle down. She was. I didn't like that they were kind of ganging up on her. Lucia. But she tried. You see her? She's going back for more. Well, she's okay. She's just been rough. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do with that water heater situation? Gonna take me a little bit of time to find that. So in the meantime, I don't have hot water. What I've been doing is boiling big pans of water and just taking hot baths. But I did order. It was supposed to come in yesterday, but it didn't. So hopefully today it'll come in, and I'll show you when it comes in. It is a pretty cool little thing. It's an electric portable water heater. Well, it's got a little, I think a little, it's, you put a little propane tank, 1 liter or larger if you like, but hook it up to it. It's battery powered, and so you can take it camping. And oh, I'll put a little clip of it, a little picture of it here at the end of this video. And it's got a little, shower head on it, and so you can take a hot shower anywhere. And so I'm going to use that until I get figure out what electrician I'm going to use to upgrade the house, and then I'm going to get that electric tankless water heater installed. I've already got one picked out. It's made in Germany. Lots of good reviews. I just don't want I just hate the thought of the risk of having that water heater catch on fire again, because what happens is if water leaks down into the motherboard or the electric area, the wires, if they catch it, if it shorts out, there's a risk of it catching fire. I hate the thought of that, because I can't be home 24/7. I'm not home 24/7 to monitor all that. And it's more efficient to have the tankless. You're not having like water constantly being heated. It's more like it heats the water on demand. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about this thing. Hopefully it'll arrive today. And the cool thing about it, again, is I can just take it anywhere. Like if I'm camping and I want to wash the dogs and it's kind of cold outside, I can use the warm water from that. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna cut this video off here because it's pretty long, and hope y'all having a good day, and we'll see you on the next one. Where's that Lucia? Gypsy. What you got, girl? What you got, girl? Gypsy. Gypsy girl. The little gypsy. She's gonna pounce. Yeah, she's gonna pounce on Lucia. The security detail never off shift. They're always on shift.